kind of style. I float the Wainucci when it gets hot. I'm proud of all the things that I've got. I'm digging in moss bags up in the sand, and after work a cold beer in my hand, picking wild berries off God's land, and drinking my buddy's homemade wine. Living Northwest wild, hunting, fishing is my kind of style. I float the Wainucci when it gets hot. I'm proud of all the things that I've got. I'm digging in moss bags up in the sand, and after work a cold beer in my hand, picking wild berries off God's land, and drinking my buddy's homemade wine. In the Northwest wild.
Hey, good evening and welcome Fish on Northwest. Wayne England flying solo. My counterpart is absent this evening, and kind of a turn of events in the last, 24 or 48 hours. We had a great show lined up. In-studio guests. We're going to introduce our new member of our crew. Chef Jeff Maxfield would be joining us in studio this evening. All of that has been temporarily put on hold. We spent last weekend up in Issaquah at the kitchen and filming some fantastic cooking segments with Chef Jeff, or Chefry as we call him. Lo and behold, we got back this week, get everything kind of going and set up, ready to go. Great show lined up. Jeff's going to come down so we can properly introduce him, whatnot. I started feeling not real well, kind of achy, kind of tired, fatigued. Tommy got a hold of me this morning. He actually was coming down with something yesterday. His got a little more involved, fever. You guys know all the signs and symptoms, so sure enough, he went and got tested this morning. The rapid test proved positive for Tommy with COVID, and he's doing fine. He feels fatigued, little bit of a cough, not bad, he said, and a very slight fever at about 100. He's doing good, but nonetheless, he is definitely down with the corona, or the Rona as we call it. Sherry and I as well, because of the way we feel, somewhat fatigued and just trying to figure out what's going on. She and I spent the afternoon trying to go get tested. If you haven't done that flu test, that corona test, it's like any other influenza test where they tip that Q-tip back and touch your brainstem. That is not pleasant. So Shing and I are basically hunkering down here at the lake house until we find out our results, and we got to deal with that. So a shortened version of tonight's show, minus Tommy. Got Jordan behind the desk over there getting everything done so we can pull this off. We'll be fine. I feel good. Fatigued is pretty much all that's kicking me right now, and have to stay home from work for a couple shifts. This may end up being our 10-day window, whatever it is. But here it is, little over a year later, still talking about it. Obviously, it's in the news every day. People get exposed at just unknown locations. We wear our masks. We do what we're supposed to. At work, we're very conscious of everything that we're doing day in and day out with all the precautions, and it's out there, man. It's just it's out there. So we'll find out what's going on with me and Sherry. Tommy has definitely checked the box. Yep, he's COVID-19 positive, so steer clear of him. No big deal, guys. Hey, appreciate all the condolences on here. We're doing fine. We feel fine, a little fatigued, and we're hoping it doesn't go beyond that. So that being said, we do have a number of things to get through this evening. We have some giveaways. We have to announce some winners. Jordan, if you pan back out to that gift pile there. We got the kids' fishing gear based on the photo contest that we ran starting last week. Tons of entries on that. Thank you everybody so much for jumping on board and submitting your kids' photos. We got a couple standouts. We're going to announce that later in the show on which kids win that gear, of which we will ship out to you, so you can get that in the hands of the little tykes prior to opening day of trout season, which is coming up. So before I get too far along, go down my list of all these things we have to cover here in the next hour or so. I want to remind everybody that Fish Hunt Northwest is presented by Better Homes and Gardens Pacific Commons, located in Puyallup, Washington. Of course, our good friends out at Defiance Marine in Bremerton, and the manufacturers of the Allied Series, the Defiance, and the Arima, and of course Phoenix Protective Corp, phoenixprotectivecorp.com. That's www.phoenixprotectivecorp.com. Always looking for good folks to bring on and hire. Check out their webpage if you're looking for work, prior military or police. Fantastic company to work for. So moving into this evening, got a lot of stuff we're actually going to cover here, and get through a host of information. And again, we'll get to the giveaway here in a bit. Also, we got a cooler that we'll be giving away in the near future. We're going to announce that, and some other get-togethers and functions going on that we hope we're able to kind of pull together here as we get into June and whatnot. Some things out on the road FHN will be doing. So before we get too far along here, what's going on around the Pacific Northwest and beyond? Hey, it's trout season, soon to be trout season. That will be April 24th is the official kickoff this year, 2021. Yes, nice that it's not delayed this year. You guys remember last year, fishing was closed down at this time. We went into opening day of trout season. Nobody was on the lake, nobody was fishing, gates were closed, the whole deal. We're not subjected to that type of situation this year. We can look forward to opening day of trout season, get those kids out. 300,000 people expected to hit the waters of the local lakes, even the ones that are open year-round. But the traditional kickoff day of fishing, the opening day of trout season in western, or of all of Washington, lowland lake opener, is April 24th. A lot of people get confused about that. They always think it is the last Saturday of April. That would be the case this year. That being said, on years where April has 5 weeks, it's always the fourth Saturday of April. So April 24th, yes, JJ, great time to get your halibut bait by getting out there on them lakes and getting them small planter size rainbows. They work fantastic for halibut and lingcod, which we will be presenting to you as we move forward over the next couple weeks. Along with the opener, that is the official kickoff for WDFW's season-long Trout Derby. I want to remind everybody about the annual Trout Derby. It's all about catching the tagged fish. You can go to WDFW's website at .gov and look up all the rules and regulations attributed to their season-long Trout Derby. Now, this Trout Derby goes for 6 months. From opening day to closing day, you have the ability to catch tagged fish, okay? These fish are located in 100-plus lakes that will have fish put in them with tags, over 1,000 prizes totaling over $38,000, more than 70 participating businesses to include Fish Hunt Northwest right here at Summit Lake. So if you're fishing Summit Lake and you grab a fish with a tag in it and you look at that phone number, you're going to call up me or Shing, and you are able to claim your prize. It has a number on the tag, so you can't just call the number and say, hey, we won. You actually got to give us the number that we have a copy of, and you're going to get a couple $100 worth of Fish Hunt Northwest swag. So we're happy once again to help support the annual Derby. We were able to successfully convince the folks that run the Derby to put fish in our lake so folks could have a chance to catch tagged fish here at Summit Lake on behalf of Fish Hunt Northwest, and we're gonna prize you up with a couple $100 worth of garments and items that we have in our online store. So that Derby again runs for 6 months. There's all the information is on the WDFW webpage. Make sure you go there and check it out and know which lakes they actually plant the tagged fish in, so that you're not fishing lakes that don't have the tags in. I mean, you can fish them, but if you're looking for a tagged fish, you're not going to find them. So figure out which lakes they are. The one I can assure you will be here, Summit Lake, and there's actually 2 fish going in because it's a pretty good sized lake. We're going to put 2 fish in. The person who catches the first fish, if you're successful, you get the couple $100 prize pack awarded with wares and items. The person or the runner-up, the second tag that's called in, if by chance it's caught, you're going to get a consolation prize of a hat of your choice. So get out here, get that first tagged fish, and we'll be good to go. Additionally to that, speaking of trout, we are helping coordinate or hosting the first annual Summit Lake Kids Trout Derby here at Summit Lake, Trout and Kokanee Derby. It will be, and write this down, May 22nd. We bumped it a month further down the road than opening day simply because the weather's probably going to be nicer, and we're hopefully getting more kids out at that time of year. So May 22nd, Saturday, May 22nd, right here at Summit Lake. And this is put on by Fish on Northwest and the Summit Lake Community Center. Okay, right down the street from us here is the Summit Lake Community Center, where the awards and weigh-in will be. More information coming. May 22nd, kids 14 and under, kids only, Trout Kokanee Derby. Prizes to be awarded. We got a number of sponsors on board. We'll be giving away fishing rods and tackle and lots of great prizes at the awards following weigh-in, which will be at 11 a.m. So great morning lined up to get the kids out here at Summit Lake. May 22nd, everybody will gather around at the Summit Lake Community Center right down the road. We'll have weigh-in starting at 11 o'clock, and we'll prize the kids up. So we'll be talking about that over the next several weeks up until the day of the Derby. Okay. Categories in that will include trout, kokanee, most weight for 5 fish weigh-in, and then largest bonus fish of any species that's not a trout or kokanee. So we got a lot of categories, and of course lots of options for the kids to win prizes. Okay. Hey, today, if you weren't aware, if you're not a hunter, Turkey season opened up today, statewide. So saw a lot of great pictures out there. Turkeys hitting the dirt. Fantastic job to everyone who got out and was successful. Saw a number of folks posting pictures. 15 minutes into their morning, they were able to call in a nice big tom and drop him. Doesn't surprise me. Last year's effort overall on turkey was reduced significantly due to the extremely short season, the late start, in a narrow window. And we had a pretty mild season where we had high survivability, talking to folks that kind of monitor that stuff, high survivability in their broods, and we got a number of turkeys out there. So plenty of opportunity to get out there and get some birds. Tommy and I, all things coming together at the end of the month, are teaming up with our buddy Eric Broughton. We're also hoping to get Jason Phelps out of the shop and out on the dirt, calling in some turkeys. Got to thank him. Big shout out. Got a box in the house I haven't even got to yet. Phelps sent us a bunch of various turkey calls, which is like gold right now because, like everything else, they're trying to keep up with demand as well. Production fell so far behind in this last year. If you were trying to buy anything in the outdoors, I don't know, if you ordered a boat, for example, and waiting for electronics, you might still be waiting. And if that's the case, you know, the companies are doing the very best they can. They're catching up, doing a fantastic job. Jason, I want to give you a shout out. Can't wait to put some of those Phelps and Meat Eater calls to work over on the east side when we team up with Eric Broughton. And we're going to bring all of the video content from those couple days of out hunting on our turkey hunts here towards the end of the month. Speaking of which, this ties into that nice cooler, that RTIC, that Arctic cooler sitting out in front of me here. We are giving that away. That is thanks to Snoqualmie Valley Ducks Unlimited, Mike Olson Outdoors, and they've teamed up and they have this fantastic cooler that we'll be giving away. Now, a couple things in response to how this is going to work. We're not going to ship that cooler. And this is for the hunters' opportunity to weigh in and get your shot at winning something great. Gave away the fishing gear this last contest for the kids and fishing gear. This cooler is for the hunters that are out there. So I will be putting up a post here probably tomorrow, and it'll say post your pictures here. Hunting pictures, doesn't matter. Any type of hunting picture, current from last season or previous. The photos, once again, the hunting photos, non-specific, game animal, bird, what have you. Hunting, have your dogs in there, you know, waterfowl, upland birds, big game, whatever you got. hunting photos that receive the most the hunting photo that receives the most likes is going to win that cooler. The other thing is, if you're posting up your picture, you're going to have to be willing to either meet up with us or come here to the Fish Hunt Northwest studio and pick that cooler up. It's $250 value. It will be well worth the short drive hopefully you have to come and claim that prize. We will award that. Now this is all pending the outcome of the COVID testing and where we land. Supposed to have Mike Olson in studio next week. Don't know if we're going to be able to do that. Might be able to give the cooler away. If not, we'll have a closing date on submission for that. We'll announce the winner online. And then we'll reconvene the following week, the 29th, and we'll announce it here on the show, if we can't do it next week on the 22nd. So that Arctic cooler is up for grabs for hunters. You're going to be posting your picture, your hunting picture, on our Fish Hunt Northwest Facebook page. And the picture with the most likes is going to win that cooler, and then we'll make arrangements with you to make sure we land that in your hand. So I want to give a shout out to everybody that's chiming in here. Yep, seeing you guys on here. Sean Nichols, hey, how you doing? Larry Stamp, nice to see you guys. And so as far as the Trout Derby, I'm getting asked here if you need to register for, if you're talking our Trout Derby, May 22nd, Summit Lake Kids Derby, 14 and under. You do not need to register. You're just going to simply show up, take the kids fishing, stop in at the community center before 11 o'clock and get in line, and we'll start weigh-ins. We'll write down your information at that point, and we'll weigh in your fish in the different categories, and we'll submit you in for prizes. So it should be a good time. Again, more information to come on that, and we have plenty of time. Prior to getting there, we have opening day of trout season on the 24th. So that is it for now. I do have some more information to cover relative to more announcements. Eastside gatherings that we're going to be putting together here at Fish Hunt Northwest. We've been asked a ton for us to put something together over there on the east side for triploids, kokanee, and walleye once again. So I got dates to announce for that. That is getting put together as we speak, and looking forward to that. Little spring sale going down at Sportco right now that I will remind you guys of later here in the show. And we still need to award the winners of the kids prizes for this evening. So we're going to jump out for a quick break. While we're gone for the break, make sure you reach out there and tell all your friends to come join us so they can find out the information of our upcoming events and some more prize giveaways that we have coming up. We're going to jump out for a break. I had mentioned at the start of the show that we spent time with our new chef, Jeff Maxfield, Chef Jeff as we call him, up there in Issaquah. He's the owner, one of the owners of Finn's Bistro. Great little establishment. We had some amazing food. I was really hoping Tommy's going to be here tonight. We're going to talk about some of the food that we enjoyed out of Finn's Bistro, and just the overall ambience of that little place is just fantastic. The food is amazing. Jeff is a standout. He is an amazing chef. He has a long resume. So it is trout season. Trout season soon to open. We want to give you guys the successful opportunity. He made some trout that he picked up, and let me tell you, not a huge fan of trout, but I would eat this trout that he prepared every single day. It's not a really in-depth, involved recipe. It's pretty simple, more of a comfort food style recipe, which is what we're really striving for. Simple ingredients to make flavorful foods that you folks are going to enjoy. And it's always fish, fowl, and game here at Fish Hunt Northwest. Always fish, fowl, and game, and that's what Chef Jeff is going to always be cooking. So we took opportunity to put this segment together. Now, previous segments we've done here at the house, and we will do more. We're in a controlled environment, nice and quiet, no big deal. We're there in his commercial kitchen. Got some fans going, some blowers. We tried to dumb the sound down a little bit. It's a little louder than you're probably used to, just making you aware. The content is great. His information that he continues to put out with each and every recipe is just fantastic. Get out your notepad, take down this recipe. I guarantee for trout, after opening day, you're going to want to get these very few ingredients and, believe it or not, some limbs off your neighbor's tree by chance, and cook this trout up because you will be amazed. So jump out for a quick break. When we come back, you're going to be in the kitchen at Finn's Bistro with Sherry, Shing, as we like to call her, and Chefry, cooking up trout right here at Fish Hunt Northwest.
An outdoor emporium. is the largest local outfitter in the Northwest since 1975, providing thousands of people affordable outdoor gear. This summer, make your next outdoor adventure more affordable by shopping at our warehouse-style pricing. We are a local Scotty dealer, offering sales, service, and repair. Located in Fife and Seattle, come visit us today. The outdoors await you.
It's easier than ever to browse homes and connect with an agent on the go with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate's mobile app. With the app, your home search is synced across all of your devices, so you can pick up your home search anytime, anywhere. Take full advantage of an enriched, mobile-optimized map search experience. Use location services to quickly find homes near you that match your search criteria. Draw your own map boundaries to find homes in a specific area, and apply layers to view school districts, neighborhoods, zip codes, and more. The app's user-friendly design makes it easier than ever to find a home you'll love. Narrow down your search results, save your search criteria, and save your favorite homes. You can browse your saved homes in a list view that puts photos and key details like price and square footage right at your fingertips. Or check out your saved homes displayed on the map.
Yep, for sure. Oh yeah, big fish. Yeah, buddy. Nice fish. Oh, beauty. Gorgeous fish.
Bobby's on the board.
We got a good one.
Oh yeah. Oh, oh, geez, come on.
Nice fish. Nice fish.
Welcome back to Fish Hunt Northwest. We're here on location in beautiful Issaquah, Washington at Finn's Bistro with the owner and chef, Jeff Maxfield.
Welcome to Finn.
Yes, we love it here. We've had such a good time this weekend. It's been awesome. Your dinner on Saturday night, awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
What are we going to cook?
We're doing, in celebration of Lowland Lakes opening up, we're going to do rainbow trout today.
Okay.
And so, obviously, you know, trout season's opening up here shortly, and it's a great opportunity to get out there and enjoy these beautiful fish.
Yeah.
We're going to do it today with a little bit of chorizo, some hominy, and roasted over Douglas fir.
Okay.
So
sounds good, but did you say Douglas fir?
I did. Douglas fir, you know, everybody's kind of familiar with cooking over cedar plank and that sort of thing. It's just a little bit different. So you get a little bit of that Christmassy flavor, but it's also, you know, gives some nice little citrus notes to it. And it's great to do in your own kitchen. We do it in a restaurant. It's also great to do when you're camping, you know, celebrating that opening day weekend.
Awesome.
So we're going to go ahead and get started here. I've got 2 cups of chorizo sausage. You can separate this out or exclude this and do Italian sausage. You know, you
pretty much whatever you want.
Anything is game here.
Okay.
So I've got a cast iron skillet warming up. Cast iron skillet is a great opportunity to cook these fish because you can go straight, cook everything right here, the sausage and everything. Remove the sausage, then we're gonna sear the trout in it and finish it in the oven. So it's a one pot dish.
Okay.
It's great for cleanup. So I've got this pan warming up here.
Did you use some oil in it? Yeah.
Yep. We're gonna hit a little bit of olive oil. This is pure olive oil. And, you know, certainly save the extra virgin olive oil for things where you want that olive oil flavor. When you're sauteing with extra virgin olive oil, it's got a lower smoke point, and what happens is when you get that pan nice and hot, it'll burn that oil and actually give you an off-putting taste to it.
Oh, okay.
So pure olive oil, you can use canola.
Oh, canola. Okay. Yeah. That's a good thing to know. I didn't know that about extra virgin.
Yeah, you know, it's you know, you're spending all that great money on that oil, and you know, it's one of those things you just want to use it for your salad dressings or to finish your dish with it, where you get that olive oil flavor.
Okay.
As opposed to just sauteing with it.
Then cooking with it. Okay.
We're gonna drain this grease out anyway. So as that sausage is cooking there, we're gonna go ahead and get our green onions cut.
All right.
And I'll just take the ends off, and again, you know, you don't have to be super delicate with any of this stuff. It's all going to get into a stuffing. You essentially just want the flavor of all this.
Okay.
So we'll take our green onion, and I've got the hominy here.
What's hominy?
Hominy is corn that's been either soaked in lye, and there's a process behind it, which helps to kind of swell up like this and gives it a nice earthy, kind of nutty almost flavor.
Yeah.
It's real popular in Latin cuisine. Pozole, the soup or the stew, is made with this. Works really great for trout. You know, it's also, you know, people love having trout for breakfast. It's a great opportunity to
trout for breakfast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and hominy. I grew up having hominy for breakfast, so we're going to use that right in the same dish.
Okay, sounds good.
So I've got the green onion going there. We're going to add jalapeno. I've got one jalapeno that's been de-seeded. If you like it spicy, leave the seeds in. No big deal.
Yeah.
If you don't like spice at all, you can omit it completely and go from there.
Okay.
So we want to cook this sausage about 3/4 of the way because it's going to continue to cook in the oven inside that trout.
So brown it really good.
Yeah.
Smells delicious.
You kind of want to break it up a little bit. All right, and we're going to add our hominy right in there.
All right.
And the nice thing about hominy, and it comes in a can at the grocery store.
Yeah, I was going to say you can get that pretty much everywhere.
Yep. And with most canned vegetables and things that I buy, I typically rinse them anyway. Once they're done, I drain all the juice out of it and then rinse them with fresh water, and that just kind of takes away that canned little flavor.
So is that about 1 can that you put in there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And the recipe calls for 2 cups, but you can, if you wanted to add something else to this, and say you just want to add fresh corn. Fresh corn works too.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to turn that off, and we'll get our mixing bowl here.
All right.
And we're going to just transfer that. There's not a whole lot of oil that comes out of this, but you can just tilt your pan, and you're going to kind of let that oil come to the bottom.
Okay.
And then we'll just transfer it right to the bowl.
All right.
And it's, it already smells great.
And you'll just stuff that, and then you'll transfer it right back onto the hot pan.
And so the nice thing about cast iron is it does hold its heat. So we're going to leave it on the stove turned off, and it's going to probably still be warm when we get ready to put the fish back in. So I'm going to add the green onion right to it.
Okay.
And I've got a little bit of fresh thyme. And this is just like rosemary, and I just pull it off. Pull it off. And, most of the time the big stems come off. If you've got a couple big ones in there, just run your knife over it a couple times. Okay. This is, the fresh stuff for this recipe works really well. You can use dried. If you're using dried thyme, use less of it because once it starts to kind of reconstitute, it's going to put out a stronger flavor.
Oh.
So I've got just a single lime. Zester, you can use the back of a cheese grater. A lot of times that part of the cheese grater that nobody ever uses, that real fine little
that's holes, what it's for?
These work perfectly. Okay. Microplanes, you can find them at a hardware store. You can find them at a kitchen store. Okay. I'm using just a normal little zester here, and we're just going to zest that lime right in. And what that does is all those little essential oils in that skin, it's, every time I zest a lime, I think of margaritas. I don't know why. And then we're going to juice that lime right in there. And this is, I'm kind of sticking with the Southwest kind of feel here, so we're going to put a little bit of fresh cilantro in here as well.
Oh, good.
All right, so I've got that here. And the nice thing about cilantro is the stems are edible. You know, it's not one of those things where, you know, the stem is something that's off-putting. I just take the big pieces and just discard those, but the rest of it, just chop it up.
Just put right in there. Yeah.
Okay. And it doesn't have to be anything too fancy.
Nope.
And we'll just toss that up all together and make sure everything's nice and incorporated. I always like to taste, you know, especially stuffings, I like to taste them before it's going inside of anything, just because, you know, once it's in, you can't really taste
you
it,
can't take it out if you've seasoned it before.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of times sausage is you know, already been seasoned well. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt.
Okay.
All right. Now we're ready to stuff the trout. Now these have been, I bone these out completely, which is a great way with trout because they're, you know, these are
everybody complains about the little trout bones.
A lot of bones, right? And especially when you're stuffing them, you know, it'd be nice to be able to have that trout where you don't have to eat the stuffing or pull the stuffing out before you start eating it.
Right.
This is a great way where now we're going to roast it whole, and you can, you know, with that crispy skin, you can go straight from there. So I'm going to use a little bit of my special house seasoning.
Is that your very own special house seasoning?
Yeah,
Finn's Bistro?
Finn's Bistro seasoning. So we use this on all of our steaks, fish, even our French fries. So
wow.
Just a light seasoning because this is already seasoned as well.
Okay.
What that does is just going to help kind of bring that flavor all the way through the fish. So we're going to put that right down the center.
That's amazing.
When we're stuffing things, I like it to, you know, kind of get back to the same shape as it originally was.
Okay. So you don't want to overstuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you were going to do this ahead of time, and you wanted to, you know, do this a day early, or, you know, do it in the morning before dinner, and, you know, and be ready to go, make sure your stuffing's cool before you put it inside the fish, because you don't want it to sit there in a temperature that might not be safe.
Exactly.
So we'll fire that burner back up.
Okay.
And we've got our Douglas fir. So these are literally harvested out of a tree out back. And so you want to grab
you
the
can just go to any backyard.
Any backyard, maybe your neighbor's yard, I don't know. But you'll want to, you know, cut the very end parts of the Douglas fir because they're the fronds are a lot more delicate, so you're not, you know, cutting a big branch off because that's just going to get bitter, and you'll start kind of getting that almost rancid flavor. So these end tips are nice and delicate. They have a lot of essential oils in them.
Well, which will lay nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Under it. Yeah.
And so now we can see that's warming back up a little bit. I think we're hearing some popcorn going on.
Yes, we are.
All right. So a little bit more oil, and we're going to add our fronds right to it. And this is the delicate part.
You're making popcorn too?
Over here, yeah. Good sound effect. All right, so we're going to lay this trout right on top. Any of this extra filling, pop it right in.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, welcome back in studio. Hopefully you enjoyed part one of Chef Jeff and Shing in the kitchen there at Finn's Bistro, cooking that trout. Little different presentation than myself or Shing or Tommy had ever seen. Jeff has some amazing recipes. I never thought of putting chorizo or some type of a little more oily meat inside trout to really add some amazing flavor. And I can assure you, when this thing is done and we sat down and ate that, I was blown away with the amount of flavor that trout had taken on and truly what it tasted like. So more of that to come. You're going to want to stick around to see how he finishes that out, because it is something to be held. Simple recipe that you guys can literally try after opening day here in the next week and a half or so. All right, we are going to jump out for a quick break, and the man that you just saw that we introduced you to, Chef Jeff Maxfield, is waiting. We're going to get him on the phone. Couldn't have him in studio tonight, as for all the aforementioned reasons with this unknown COVID situation. So jump out for a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. You're going to want to get to hear a little bit from Chef himself, Jeff Maxfield, when we come back right here at Fish on Northwest.
Marine is the one-stop shop for the Pacific Northwest angler. Whether you are looking for a small skiff to fish the Sound or rivers, or a huge offshore tuna machine, Defiance Marine has it. At Defiance Marine, be sure to power your boat with a Honda outboard package. Take advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty on your Honda outboards. Our service department is always here to help and serve you as the customer. Did you know Defiance Marine has boat financing experts to help get you the best term rates on your new boat purchase? If you need financing for that new boat, call us today. We guarantee the best price, best service on a repower for your current boat. Defiance Marine is a Honda Premier dealership and one of the largest on the West Coast. Defiance Marine also carries all the gear that you will need. Everything from auxiliary kicker motors to fishing tackle and bait. Defiance Marine has certified technicians that are top-notch at their job. Some of the best in the Pacific Northwest at evaluating your boat issues and problems. Stop in today or give us a call for all your needs at Defiance Marine.
Today, the need for quality private security services is at an all-time high. Contract Security Service provides day-to-day peace of mind as they protect people and property. Here at Phoenix, we provide service for multiple state and federal contracts with services ranging from uniform, patrol, alarm monitoring, canine detection, executive protection, as well as investigative work. Phoenix client management models are built on understanding our clients' security needs and responding with a tailored program that is best fit for them. Phoenix provides excellent customer service through well-trained, highly motivated security professionals. Recruiting highly qualified officers is the first step in building a strong team. Currently, we are comprised of 70% prior law enforcement and military veterans. If you are prior military or law enforcement, go to www.phoenixprotectivecorps.com and apply today.
Hey, welcome back here in Studio Fish on Northwest. Dwayne England flying solo this evening. If you missed out, young Thomas Donlan is home battling the Rona, as it were. Slight fever and some fatigue, and Big Tommy is down for the count for a couple days, but feeling okay. And Shing and I are in quarantine until we get our test results back, and then they'll probably tell us you guys are in quarantine for 6 months. So that's kind of how this stuff works. Anyway, that would be why I'm here solo. That would be why our next guest, first time on the phone, was to be here in studio this evening, but due to these circumstances, he opted to stay home, and I applaud you for that. Chef Jeff Maxfield, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm just happy to be here, and can't ask for better weather, and had so much fun earlier this week, and look forward to more.
Yeah, so already got people chiming in. Try that recipe with triploid. Yeah, absolutely try that with triploid, though triploid in and of itself doesn't need anything to make it taste good other than a little salt and pepper. But hey, Jeff, let's, we got introduced through a mutual friend, and we had a really great meeting and discussion on kind of, where you're at with your business and your partners and kind of what we're trying to establish here at Fish on Northwest. You've been following us and like the fact that we incorporate all facets of outdoors, hunting, cooking. We talk of gathering and all those, and we try to couple that all up so folks have something to take into the kitchen, not destroy what it is they're out harvesting, and somehow prepare it reasonably with not a lot of time, and let themselves and friends and family enjoy that. So we're kind of on the same path here, and we found it to be a great conversation, and the fact that we foresee great things to come with Fish on Northwest, and you on board now as part of the crew and our chef. Let's kind of introduce yourself to the folks, a little bit of your history and kind of some of your background in your chefing, as it were.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a native of the Pacific Northwest, and spent my entire childhood and younger years of my life, on the beaches of the Hood Canal and the mountains, and, the Cascades and the Olympic Peninsula, and just really embracing the outdoors, and I think again, just like you brought up, it was just a great match, and my path took me into a kitchen at a young age. Mom was a home ec teacher and grandma of French descent that, were always spending time in the kitchen, and it was just kind of a natural thing for me to take on. And I started in high school, went to a culinary program in the Seattle area, and worked in a couple kitchens during that time, and then went to college for culinary arts as well, and and worked my way around Seattle and different types of cuisine. And, the Pacific Northwest just offers so many, great things that are so unique to this region. And, I was talking to an oyster farmer the other day as he was dropping off oysters, and talking about butter clams that we used to get off the beach. And commercially, you never really saw them up until recently. And so those kinds of things that, the rest of the United States and even parts of, the Pacific Northwest aren't familiar with. That was one of those things that, it's just exposing people to all the great ingredients that we have, not just from the forest or the waters, but, it's the foraging of different things, the nettles and those mushrooms and everything else that's growing at our feet, when we're heading out into the field, and those are the kinds of things that I like to, really put on a plate. And my kind of natural progression is I've worked most recently a corporate chef for the Space Needle and Chihuly Garden and Glass. And, and an opportunity came up to purchase our own restaurant, and it just happened to be named Finn's Bistro. And I'm like, you know what, this is kind of a perfect opportunity to showcase, the Pacific Northwest and especially the fish that, we're so well known for.
Yeah, absolutely. Your history throughout the Northwest, growing up, and as you had mentioned, the fishing, the hunting, especially the gathering and the harvesting, which you take full advantage of. And what really inspired Sherry and I after our conversation with you was the fact that you love to incorporate as much of that into your recipes as you can. Stuff that you even made a mention, like, you're beating your trail through the woods to get to your fishing hole, and you're trampling down all these nettles where you could actually cut some of those down with gloves on and take them back. They taste amazing once they've been prepared appropriately, and they're not stinging your tongue, of course. But I had no idea they had so much flavor. And here, I've been stomping them things down around my deer blind for years, right? So there's just a lot of things, I think, that you and your history and your passion for the Pacific Northwest, you're really going to open the eyes of a lot of our viewers and followers and persons who have a passion for cooking, and to especially take what they've hunted, fished for, gathered, harvested in the outdoors here in the Pacific Northwest, and turn it into a recipe. And now you're going to teach them how to put all that together on a single plate, and it could be multiple items from within and around the areas that they hunt and fish.
Absolutely. An important thing that I've always kind of lived by is seasonality. And, you hear chefs and restaurateurs talking about seasonality all the time, and why pay for something to come, hundreds of miles away when there's an equally or better, ingredient right out your back door. And I'm a big fan of putting, things that are in season at the same time on the same plate. So, you've got Springer salmon, and rhubarb is starting to come out of the Puyallup Valley. The rainbow trout is, there's, the cedar fronds that we cook that on, or the Douglas fir fronds. It works great with cedar fronds too, and those are the things that, really all lend themselves. You get things at the peak of their flavor and the peak of the season. And nettles are, we talked about, and they're not only tasty, but they're abundant, but they're also very good for you. And who would want to have more food that didn't cost them anything that's going to be good for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I'm excited for the recipes to come in the near future here. We spent a day up there shooting a handful of recipes, and we really strive to tie it within season. As you just mentioned, that time of year when things are popping at the same time, and you want to complement the plate with those things that are relevant. So folks can look forward to your kitchen presentation with Shing in there. And, we covered wild turkey, we covered halibut, we covered amazing mussel and clam dish, because those could be harvested right now through the end of May on some of the beaches that are still open with reasonable or lack thereof of any acid levels. There's very few, but they are reachable at this point right now. So all these recipes we did are within season over the next several months, and that's kind of what we'll strive for each time we're able to come together, whether it's up there at Finn's kitchen and or back down here at the house. We're going to introduce some pellet grill cooking. We're going to actually, one of our favorites we're looking forward to, and something you're passionate about, look forward to cooking on open fire. So you got a host of things you're going to bring to this show. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I'm creating friendships and people that are like-minded and share passion for everything that I do, and I'm just happy to be part of your team.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to have you on board, and very excited about the future. And of course, can't wait to get you out on the tuna boat with me and Tommy, and or out on Puget Sound or whatever it is, or get out do some waterfowl hunting, whatever it is. Because at the core of it, you fish, you hunt, you gather, you speak our language, and this is going to be a fantastic opportunity. So can't thank you much. Thank you enough for putting all that together for us when we're up there with you, and look forward to getting you down here in studio in the next few weeks as we'll pull that together and everybody gets healthy and on the mend here, and we get the green light to all come back together.
I can't wait. Sounds great.
All right, buddy. Thanks for checking in tonight. Short introduction for the folks, but we're going to get to part 2 of your amazing trout recipe right after we get back from the break. So we'll be in touch. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
There you go, Chef Jeff Maxfield, now a member of Fish Hunt Northwest here, and a fantastic individual, and just amazing things to come recipe-wise. And a lot of you guys had been asking, what happened to your recipes of the week? Where'd they go? Where's Chef Kelly? And, Chef did a great job. Kelly did a great job for us first season and into partially second season. But, logistics and him being clear over on the east side, it just became very, very difficult to match our calendars up. So we just waited for quite some time till we were able to come together with somebody that's going to be a good fit for the show. And we honestly think Jeff is going to blow your mind with a lot of the things he does in and out of the kitchen. So with that, for those that are still sticking around, and I appreciate that, part 2 of this trout recipe, it is something to be held. This will finish it out. A couple of you had asked, how did he get the backbone, or how do you bone out that trout? Well, while this is cooking, this next segment here, Jeff is going to show you very easily how he debones a trout, because that is one of the issues, folks, when it comes to eating trout. You're like, well, it's not bad, but I don't care for all the small bones. He's going to show you how to get rid of the majority of all them bones, so you have a nice trout slab laying there that you can stuff with the recipe that he is showing you this evening. So don't go anywhere. Stick through the break. We come back. Chef Jeff Maxfield and Shing in the kitchen at Finn's Bistro, Issaquah, is going to show you the final process on this trout and how to make it most amazing for after opening day, and the recipe you will want to use. So don't go anywhere. Jump out for a quick break. We'll come back right here at Fish Hunt Northwest. Defiance boats are built without any structural wood materials. That is why we back our boats with a lifetime warranty. All of our Defiance boats come standard with large fish boxes that are fully insulated so that you can ice your fish properly all day. Defiance boats feature a 21 to 22 degree dead rise at the transom and a large reverse chine for incredible handling and stability offshore. Defiance boats are foam, flotation filled, and unsinkable for the ultimate in safety while fishing offshore. Defiance boats feature fuel-efficient hull designs with large fuel tank capacity so that you can have maximum fuel range for making long offshore runs completely safe and affordable. All Defiance boats come standard with self-bailing decks for improved safety while at sea.
Defiance Boat offers all our boats with Honda outboard packages so that you can take full advantage of the reliability and 5-year top-to-prop warranty from your Honda outboard. Defiance Boats for all your boating needs, and let us help you get out on the water.
Today, the need for quality private security services is at an all-time high. Contract Security Service provides day-to-day peace of mind as they protect people and property. Phoenix Protective Corporation strives for excellence. Above all, Phoenix security officers are managed by leaders trained to inspire and encourage greatness. Here at Phoenix, we provide service for multiple state and federal contracts, with service ranging from uniform, patrol, alarm monitoring, canine detection, executive protection, as well as investigative work. We here at Phoenix are looking for highly motivated individuals to apply. If you're a vet, retired or active, and would like to work with us, please apply.
So a little bit more oil, and we're going to add our fronds right to it. And this is the delicate part.
You're making popcorn too?
Over here, yeah. Good sound effect. All right, so we're going to lay this trout right on top. Any of this extra filling, pop it right in.
Okay.
All right. And the nice thing about when you're cooking fish with skin, always, you know, certainly with trout, they always have that kind of, you know, a little film on them. Rinse them really well. Use a towel to dry them off. A little bit of salt helps to kind of pull out any moisture, because when you want that nice crispy skin, a little bit of salt or a little bit of olive oil, and we're ready to go in the oven.
Okay. And what degrees do you have that on?
I've got this set at 400. Okay. You know, certainly, you know, if you're cooking other things to go with it, if you've only got one oven, you know, you're just going to have to allow a little bit more cook time. Okay. Internal temperature, you know, a thermometer, kitchen thermometer, everybody should have one. It's a great thing to have in your drawer. That way you can always make sure your steaks are cooked properly, fish. I cook anything stuffed, I cook to about 150. Okay. And as you pull it out, it'll continue to kind of finish and cook there. But everything that went inside is pretty much fully cooked. All right. So while that's cooking, we're going to show you how to bone out the trout.
Awesome.
So rainbow trout, you know, certainly you want to dress them once you've caught them, and you know, and get them packed on ice. The fresher the better. When you're boning things out, it just, you know, helps everything kind of loosen up. All right, so super sharp paring knife. I stay small, especially with a small fish. With a trout, you know, obviously larger fish, you're gonna want a bigger knife, but paring knife does really well with a nice thin point to it. Okay. So we're gonna start, and we're gonna just go along the spine, kind of like you would with a salmon, where you're gonna separate the spine. You don't want to go too deep, and then you're gonna go right towards that lower fin, and you'll spread it out. Nice. And then we'll do the same with the other side. And if you're more comfortable to, you know, I'm using my knife to go under the spine at this point. If you're more comfortable using it going up the top, that's perfectly fine too. It's just wherever you're comfortable. Okay. And, you know, you don't have to be too delicate with it. It's not going to hurt anything. All right, so now or anything. We've seen that this spine has kind of been freed out here. It's just flopping around. So just run your knife, and there's a few of those that dorsal fin has, you know, some bones that run through. Ultimately, what will happen is we'll be able to pull those completely out. So we can see here, and let's pull this way so the camera can see a little bit. Yeah. All right. So now all we're going to do is we're going to lift and kind of use our knife and just kind of separate everything as we go here. And then just use your knife and just free it out. Yeah. All right. And you know, little pieces of flesh like this are perfectly fine. It's all gonna cook up the same way. So you've got your rib bones here. Just use your knife and run it all the way up. And just like filleting salmon, it's just on a smaller scale, right?
Yeah.
All right. And separate those and do the same on the other side.
Same on the other side.
And you know, I typically move the fish around, you know, just so that I can figure out what works best for me as far as angles go. Nice small strokes helps too, so that you're not, you know, gouging in. If you make any mistakes, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
You know, commercially, when restaurants buy trout, you can buy them this way. You spend quite a bit more money doing it.
Yeah, I wonder.
Or, you know, buying them that way. But it's, you know, definitely nice to serve to your guests that, you know, you don't have to worry about them getting bones. These are little fishbone tweezers. Buy them off Amazon. These are made in Japan. They're great, especially for trout bones. But we use them for salmon. I've used them for lingcod. And all you're going to do is you're just going to pull those little pin bones out.
Yeah, those are those suckers that everybody complains about, right?
Yeah, and these, you know, these
left in.
Tweezers work so much better than a pair of needle nose pliers, in my opinion.
Okay.
Especially with, you know, smaller, more delicate fish. And just run your finger back, and you can find out where any of those extra little bones are, and just remove those. And we'll do the same on the other side.
Okay. Can you hear that popping?
Yeah, it's starting to make some noise in there. Should be delicious. I can smell it already too.
Yeah, it smells awesome. Yeah.
Right. You know, and this is
delicious.
Certainly, if you've got a bunch of trout, you know, you've limited out over the weekend, and you know you're gonna end up putting some of the fish in the freezer. Do this before you put them in the freezer. You know, and I find too that if you do this and then you
that way you can just pull them.
Yeah, put them in water in a gallon Ziploc bag and freeze them in that water. They'll actually stay super fresh, and you know they'll look like you've just caught them once you thaw them out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
All right, so I'll move this out of the way, and I think we're ready to check that fish. It's been about 10 minutes or so. Let's see how it looks.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yum.
Okay, so you know, as in with restaurants, typically if we roast things on Douglas fir or on a plank or something unique, we like to serve a little bit of that with it, just so that you get the smell of it as it hits the table. But it's a visual, and it looks great, and you know, it's not necessarily edible, but it makes a great presentation.
I think Tommy might eat it if you serve him. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to just put a little towel down, and that way we don't have to travel too far here. Okay. All right. So I've got a fish spatula. Any spatula will really work.
Okay.
Just you want to get up underneath that whole fish. It's a large one here. So.
Yeah.
All right. We'll just transfer it over. A little bit of melted butter would even be good on this.
Yes.
You know, but there's so much
finish it off.
Flavor that's going on here. Even just another little squeeze of lime over the top, or serve it with a lemon wedge.
Yeah. So in the restaurant, would you serve that with asparagus or something like that?
We would certainly do vegetable, because there is, you know, you've got meat inside of, you know, fish.
Right.
We've got the corn. Asparagus this time of year would be perfect.
Okay.
You know, I would probably put a potato with it, just because there's so much in there already.
Right.
But you know, even a little bit of charred broccoli. You could throw broccoli in that pan raw,
in the same pan.
Cook at the same time.
Okay.
So, well, here we go.
Well, yeah.
How's it look?
It looks awesome. It smells so delicious.
Perfect. So we've got our chorizo and hominy stuffed rainbow trout.
Okay. Well, we're done here in the kitchen, so we might as well just throw it back to you guys in the studio. Okay. I'm going to dig in.
Well, there you go. First recipe from Chef Jeff Maxfield. Many, many more to come. Pretty simple, not extremely involved, not a lot of ingredients, simple seasoning that he has created there at Finn's, which tastes amazing, by the way, and is for sale. A lot of great things coming out of Finn's Bistro in the future up in Issaquah. Let me start off by saying, if you have not yet take an opportunity to drive to Issaquah and just even enjoy all that the old town has to offer in and around there. Sherry and I ate at a number of places and had a few drinks here and there, but it was a fantastic, relaxing weekend for us. And then we spent the day there in the bistro. Saturday night, an amazing meal. Mike Olson and Brenda joined us, and it was just a really, really nice, comfortable time. And the food is amazing. The appetizers, the whole thing. They get fresh within season all the time. Jeff is very adamant about bringing in fresh seafood within season, and a lot of the other things, as he mentioned, throughout the Pacific Northwest to go with that stuff. So the plating and everything is just amazing. Do yourself a favor. Help us support the sponsors and the persons we work with here on this show at Fish Hunt Northwest. Take some time, drive to Issaquah, take the spouse or significant other to Finn's Bistro. You will not be disappointed, I assure you. And that recipe right there, pretty simple. This will be reposted up on our Fish Hunt Northwest Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And if you haven't done so, go to our YouTube channel, give us a subscribe, follow everything we have going on there, never miss any of our content. I also want to remind you all to make sure you go to our webpage. Check out fishuntnw.com. It's fishuntnw.com. A lot of our content will be posted up there. I will post actually the recipes with the write-up from Chef Jeffrey on the exact process in making any and all of his recipes, starting with this trout one, which will be posted up there. I think by tomorrow we'll have that one go live on the webpage. So underneath our food section of our webpage, you're going to find all Chef Jeff Maxfield's recipes in the near future to come. All right, with that, a couple more things before we get out of here. Again, shortened version tonight, doing the best I can to keep this thing going here. So we're going to get through a few things, and then we'll call it a night on a condensed version show. Okay, Eastside announcement, FHN or Fish Hunt Northwest Eastside Rendezvous. That is going to take place June 11, 12, 13. Okay, make sure you write that down. June 11, 12, and 13. That is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, second weekend of June. Again, we will be staying at the Skydeck Motel. Check out the Skydeck via their Facebook page or look them up online and give them a call. Talk to Nikki or staff over there. Tell them you are signing up or you are booking rooms for 2 nights or 3, depending how long you want to stay. We will be there Friday, Saturday, and probably stay Sunday night as well, so we can get one more morning of fishing in before we head home. But the event will be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, June 11, 12, 13. Book your room at the Skydeck. Tell them you're there for the Fish Hunt Northwest Rendezvous. You're going to save money on your room. She's going to give you a pretty decent reduction, as they always do for the Fish Hunt Northwest events. Max Lure Pro staffers will be on hand. If we don't have enough of those folks available due to time of year, we have a few other locals that will be pulling in for free seminars once again, and of course we'll have hopefully a number of items to be giving away as we did last year on a free raffle. Simply hand out tickets, draw tickets, and give you free swag, fishing gear, rods, reels, whatever we can get. We'll put all that together through a number of our sponsors and have plenty of swag and items to give away. The seminars will cover fishing Kokanee, going after the trophy Kokanee on Roosevelt, dialing in the triploids on Rufus, and of course walleye on Banks and or Roosevelt. So we will have 3 different pros giving 3 different seminars to really dial you in on Kokanee, trout / triploids, and also walleye for that particular region over there out of Electric City. And the best thing is we stay there at the Skydeck. Banks Lake is literally on the shores of, the Skydeck is literally on the shores of Banks Lake. 20 minutes away is the boat ramp to Rufus. 20 minutes away is a very convenient boat ramp to Roosevelt. So we are right there in the hub of all that we have going on over there, and there's a good reason why we choose that location to put this type of event on. We have a handful of folks over there on the east side that we talk to on a regular basis that keep us in tune with everything happening over there. So very excited to be able to bring that back once again. It'll be the Fish Hunt Northwest Rendezvous over on the east side out of Electric City, staying at the Sky Deck Motel. Make sure you call them up and book your room, as they will fill up relatively fast. Also, ongoing right now, started today, opening day of turkey season, opening day of the Sportco Spring Anniversary Sale, kicking off today. It is, they got a lot of stuff going on down there. First of all, they've extended their hours. They will be open till 7 p.m., okay? This sale is the 15th, starting today through the 19th. It's 4 days, so through the weekend, take advantage. They got a lot of things going on down there. Extreme, great savings on a number of items. Again, it's 4 days. Special guest vendors. They got Fathom Seafoods with live Dungeness crab. Housewife hot dogs is a favorite of Sherry and I with her gourmet hot dogs. Check that out if you haven't had. Jordan's back there nodding. If you haven't had the Housewife hot dog, I'm telling you, you're missing out. That is fantastic. And of course, Fathom Seafoods is there selling live Dungeness crab. Can't get it any fresher than off the truck and where it's live. So that is some really great opportunities, not to mention all the sales they have going on at Sportco. Again, one of the sponsors of this show. We ask that you patron their business because they help take care of us. Okay, with that, that's all the announcements, other than we are looking to give that cooler away next week if it all comes together for us. Definitely we'll be putting up a post so you can post your pictures, hunting pictures, again, to win that Arctic cooler. Okay, closing out the show, we need to award the kids' prizes. Man, I want to thank everybody for jumping on our Fish Hunt Northwest Facebook page, submitting your photos. And I have to apologize, I failed miserably. I meant to grab the photos of the winning kids. That would seem like the right thing to do. Put them up there on the TV. And of course, with everything going on today, I ran out of time and or just forgot. Must be that COVID brain fog. Anyway, the winners of the fishing gear. You're getting a fishing rod and reel set up with line, tackle box full of gear, some hats, FHN hat, or some wrist bracelets as well for the kiddos. Got a small trout net there. It's a really nice prize package put together by Mike Olson of Mike Olson Outdoors, and of course Snoqualmie Valley Ducks Unlimited helped pull all this together, and Mike Coombs of Outdoor Emporium and Sportco. So a lot of players in here getting all this stuff together, and we want to thank them for that. They really come to bat when it comes time to give stuff away for kids. And so again, this is going to be to get the kids ready for opening day trout season. Okay, so Julie Keyser, daughter Tessa, 2 years old, about to be 3, I believe, in 5 or 6 days. That picture is unbelievable. Little blonde, beautiful little blonde girl, 2 years old, carrying around this fish. Julie wrote in there, "This girl loves fishing. She carried this fish around for an hour and cried when it was time to put it down. And it's her birthday month." So congratulations, Tessa Keyser. So happy for you, you little sweetie. You're winning a host of fishing gear and hats and whatnot from Fish Hunt Northwest and all the aforementioned sponsors in that regard. And what a great story. She catches that fish, and basically it was her pet fish for the better part of an hour and refused to put it down at some point. That is just fantastic. You can't make that stuff up. That is just great. And then Brody Fritz, his picture, kudos to your folks, man. They probably got all the friends and family to come on the Fish Hunt Northwest Facebook page and go ahead and like that photo. That's what it's all about. Post a photo, bring all your friends and family to our page, get them to like it so that you can win stuff. Brody Fritz is going to also win duplicate package of Tessa and that trout tackle box, fishing rod, and net, and everything else. So You guys have a couple choices if you're local here somewhere in Thurston County and want to schedule a date within next week or something after we get through this stuff to come by here and check out the studio and pick up the stuff. We can do that. That's always an option. Come by and check out the Fish Hunt Northwest studio and pick up your prizes, and or we will simply mail it out to you. So please, for the parents of the kids just mentioned, for Julie and then the parents of Brody Fritz, please message us on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, make some contact. We can get your phone number so we can either talk it out and or give us your address, and we'll get to work on shipping that if that's what you choose. So thanks again to everybody tuned in. And submitted photos for your kids. That's not the end of it. We got more things to give away in the near future. We'll be having more photo contests, and the next one up is simply to get rid of this nice RTIC cooler, which will be given out based on those hunting photos that you'll start posting up after tomorrow when I get some time to put that announcement up. So that is going to do it for us. That's going to do it for me here this evening in the beard behind the desk. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. It was a short and sweet show. Hopefully you took something away with that recipe from Chef Jeff. Much more to come with him in the future. And yes, hopefully next week, pending test results and 10-day quarantines, if we're able to do a show, we'll keep you all posted in that regard. Thank you, everybody, for your kind words and hoping that we're not sick, as we do as well. We will try to get that show out next week and see where we land. If not, we will be back definitely by the 29th with a full show, full lineup, how-tos. It's almost halibut season. Tommy and I got a lot of saltwater stuff to get to, a lot of how-tos to get to, prepping you guys for deep water lings, halibut, all those things that are coming up. So thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm a little tired. I'm going to go get a cup of decaf coffee and wind down. JJ, you're welcome. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. And we will hopefully see you guys next week on the 22nd. And if not, information will be posted on our Facebook page to keep you all in check. All right. Have a safe week. Get out there, enjoy the outdoors, enjoy the sunshine. And we hope to see you next week here in studio at 6 p.m. right here at Fish Hunt Northwest.